All right. Somebody's watching me. Somebody's watching me. Let's just hang around a bit. I'll talk a bit in a sec. I have to prepare some stuff. This is no special video, it's just Friday hangout in the shed. Ahoy! I'm not sure I can type well with these, but let's see. I have to check out. Perhaps you notice something on my little bike here. It's my hovercraft that I'm working on. Alright, so what I need is spoons, tire levers, Alrighty, hello, take your time, only listening. Let's see how much of the reading I can do. So I have tire levers, I have beer. Let's take these off also. Here. We'll be on the ground a bit. Okay, a few people watching. Happy Friday, everyone. I'm having a lot of projects being done on the bike. As you can see, I've done a few already. I changed all the bearings so they are smooth. The first bearings I had lasted 25,000 kilometers and then they broke, and these lasted the rest, let's say 45,000 kilometers, and now they started to be a bit wiggly, so I changed the bearings. I did a little project. I take you closer. I now have the soft rally grips with heat underneath, and also a mod which reduces the travel here, so I have less twist to full gas. So if you're interested in that, there's a video on Sunday coming up. And I have 64,000 kilometers almost on the odometer, so it was time to service the forks and the shock. And while they're doing that, they will also do the revalving and perhaps new springs in the front. So it will be like a completely new experience with the suspension. I'm not going for the Rally Raid or Öhlins or any expensive, or at least mega expensive stuff. So just the revalving and springs, and I tried out a bike like that and it was awesome. So many people talking. Oh, hello from Singapore. And when I'm reading what you're saying, I'm showing you my behind. So maybe I have to move this a little bit. Let's scroll and see. I don't have my glasses today, but bum, bada, bum, bum, bum. If I thought about riding through Bosnia or Serbia, yes, I am thinking about going to the Bosnia Rally for roadbook navigation. So that would be awesome. I know Bosnia is off-road paradise, so I'd like to go there. Let's see, I actually plan to get things done in the shed today, but... Hello. Guten Abend. Guten Freitag, Deutschland. Thank you, Yorkshire. Oh, Minnesota. That's Swede country, isn't it? Or somewhere around there. A lot of Swedes, the immigrants. Yeah, the foam grips, actually, Steve, my buddy, maybe he'll join. He just came back from the Africa Eco Race, and he has his 15 bikes, and he swears by these foam grips. They are on all the rally bikes almost that go, Dakar and stuff. So less vibration, and I have the recipes completely from him, except for the mod I did on the throttle here, so you don't have to twist as much to get full gas. But you have to wait until Sunday for that, because there's a video of the full installation. So what I'm doing today, since all the wheels are off, this is something incredible. Let's see if you see these tires, Motos Adventure. Do you see that? Yeah. These tires now have about 13,000 kilometers on them. I took them through Turkey and been riding them ever since. So it's quite astonishing how tough they are and hold up. But it's now Sweden is getting cold and wet, and these they get really hard. So these are the slipperiest tires you can imagine right now. So it's even dangerous to go on them. Just a little gas on the tarmac, and you're off the bike. This is the Dual Venture, Motos Dual Venture, and it's also been on the entire trip, 13,000 kilometers. Holds up pretty well, but we have the shapes there. And yeah, they also get really hard when it's cold, like Sweden temperatures below 10 degrees and wet. So they're coming off. I'm putting on some cheap tires, but if I go riding winter time, that means I go on gravel and forest and stuff like that. So I'm trying out the Michelin Tracker. So they are much softer, so they will not harden up as much, and incredible traction. And this is the rear. Not planning on going on too much tarmac over winter. So great, I don't go as far over winter either, so these will last me until spring, I guess. 140 width, and that goes on well. Taking a 140 tire on the 4-inch rim, I think it's 4-inch, that's suited for 150 tires. It will flatten the tire a little bit, so you don't get the exact round profile that you would want, but these are cheap, 160 euros for the set, including the the shipment. Let's get cracking on one of the tires. I like to change tires like this sometimes, sort of trail style, comfortable trail style. So I use the levers that I have with me on the bike, and it's yeah, exercise or training to use them. So, okie doke. So let's start with that. Let's see if you can get a view of the tires. That's my working space. I've been crouching a bit. Let's catch up. Oh, Iceland, Minnesota, Bosnia, everyone's in my shed. Well, you're down. Here we are. Bogota, Colombia. Wow. And Turkey. Merhaba, Turkey. I learned a bit Turkish on the trip, actually. I could order the number of beers that we wanted. The highest numbers of beer I ordered were dokuz tane. Alright. Merhaba, Turkey. Çok güzel. Alright. Brazilian rider in Belgium. How nice. So I'm a brave man because on video I can be the expert and cut and make everything look good. But doing it live, it's a different story. So at least, yeah, I'll get these Motos tires off and try to get them off. Come on, don't be shy. That's the way I was feeling after that köfte in Turkey. Had my stomach go wild. Have we done everything? No, there's a 12mm little screw there. Let's get that off. I don't think I will do everything today. I'll start the job, finish it tomorrow or something like that. I don't want to spend all the fun in one day. Ah, come on. Well, live casts in the shed, that's slow TV. You can go on doing what you did and just have a little screen of this Swede working in the shed. So getting the bead off with only 2 spoons. I sort of have a trick for that. I take the first one and point it downwards, like that. And the other one pointing upwards, like so. So I can. So the top one I press down, and the bottom one so I press this down and pull this up. Then I get sort of a whoop. It's not as easy, but it's a technique you can use on the trail if you have nothing else. And move around doing the same thing. Just get it going a bit, like so. And the first sign of getting off there. So the bead is off. Same thing on the other side. Actually, I like to keep the brake disc off the ground. Same thing there. This one pointing down, this one pointing up, and then continue. This is exercise. I always get sweaty when I do this. Some WD-40 because it sneaks in pretty good, but I'm not sure if I sabotaged it now because the spoons will slip also. No, here it goes. I think beads are off. I usually do this with the other guys, and we help each other, and we have better tools. But once in a while it's good to do this on your own, and just this crowd watching. So now it's not 100% trail style, but because I have these things. You know, I chose to do this today and do the live cam because I put this t-shirt on in the morning, and I thought if I do it tomorrow then I don't have this nice t-shirt, so that's why it's actually on today. Okay, come to drink some juice. Cojka, sorry. Cojka, that was good shit. I hope Slovaks don't take offense, but the Cojka was better than the Slibovica that we had. Friday, Phil's birthday, man. Hello. Yeah, the viewers of judgment. Actually, I will put you there because and see if I can view a bit. Where's my little mini spoons? So now let's get these off. Actually, I will start from the other side. because it helps to have the brake disc there too. Okay, some lubrication, because then I use the brake disc there too. Actually, Mota's tires are really stiff and hard and thick, but they come on and off quite easily. Now we only need let's see if we can get the Anaconda out. There it is. Yeah. No. If this takes long, it's because I need to see what you're saying. Hei from Grest. Nei, men hei på deg. Moro at du kikker inn. Alright, what will be your next trip? Or will you have a winter stop? Since I got the Tenere, of course we ride less in the winter, but since 2019 in October, so that's 3 years, a little bit more than that I had this, I've been able to ride every month of the year for the last 3 years. So there is a crazy meet, Steve at All In Travel. All In Travel, check his channel out. He's a very crazy and funny man. So it's mostly in Swedish, but he arranges almost like a Elefantentreffen, you know, that winter meet down in Germany. He arranges that down in Småland here in February. So if possible I will go there on this. And yeah, let's see if I'm bad at talking and doing this part. I hate this part. It's often quite hard to get it off the rim. Let's see if I can get this part is what I usually cut away from the normal videos. So if you want to go get a coffee or a beer or something, that's welcome. Oh. Maybe some more lube on that. Normally, if I only had a puncture, I wouldn't need to get this off, but now I'm tossing this away, so. No. Hang on. I'm also turning down the heat. This is plastic, so I don't destroy the rim as much. Please. Pretty please. doesn't want to. Let's see so I don't. So. Oh. And let's get this one too. Oh, come on, now. Yes. Hooray. Ooh. Good. It's pretty crowded in here, so. Oh. She said. Try taking the bead off the other side. So the film is completely inside the rim. Oh yes. Ooh. Working with no beer. Ooh. Quarter to 5 in the evening, but it's the end of work week, so. And we did get that rim off. Oh. Cheers. If you have one, join. We need our beer, as you might have seen in the last trip. Okay, great. Whoa. Not sure what that means, but do it. Cheers, Bergen. Whew. This is not a heated garage, it's cold. It doesn't feel so cold anymore. Let's get a rag. So the next trip, one thing I want to do is go road booking. Doesn't have to be competition road booking, but I just love road booking. So that's what I was thinking about the Bosnia Rally, which is not a competition, but it's sort of a training camp. Really nice off-road. So that's what I want to do. I want to go to Romania again and do only Romania because I like that very much. And yeah, I have friends there now with Dragos and his crew. But the next big trip that the whole team is planning is a trip east to west through the USA. So, but that's a whole, not distance wise, we did, how much is that? 11,000 kilometers on Turkey trip. US trip would be 3,400 kilometers or something like that. So it's not much distance, but it's economically a much greater challenge. So we're looking into it, and we're trying to get some sponsors in there too. Because one thing that we did not count on. We have a fairly successful YouTube channel, but not Itchy Boots good. I try to imitate her, but it doesn't reflect on the channel subscriptions and views. So I have to try a different approach. But the last trip that we did, Eastern Europe, that's 1.2 million views now. Incredible. And the Turkey trip movie is starting to sort of take off now. And if we have 2 really big movies, then we can go and get some sponsors. We're making a 3rd one through the US. Do you want your logotype in the beginning or something like that? So there are ways. Oh, catching up. Cheers från Bergen. Cheers från Umeå. Vad härligt. Riktiga nordbor, det är bra. Copenhagen. Går det? Håll käft, det är vilt. If I remember how long your first rear brake pad lasted, that wasn't long, that was about... Actually, I rode them quite long, 10,000 kilometers, but then they were sort of down to the plate, so almost 10,000 kilometers, but many get 5,000 kilometers on the rear brake pads. Talking about brake pads, since they were so fast, for many at least, I changed to new brake pads, the sintered one. So I got those, and I got, I don't remember how much, but a lot more distance on the pads, until I noticed that the brake discs were getting below spec. So that turned out that I had to change, after two sets of sintered pads, I had to change the brake discs. And that's much more costly than to buy a new brake pad. So I'm back to organic, quite normal brake pads. Yeah, I'm bigger than Itchy Boots. Not in channel wise, but body size. I've been staring at this rim. Now let's get it back in. And these Michelin trackers, they are bi-directional, so you don't have to think about the rotation. And one thing that I find very hard is to first get the tire on and then squeeze in and get this valve through there. So I always put the tube in first. Which reminds me, I don't have a compressor. I use the hand pump, but that's cool. I do have a small one for the bike. Let's get the Anaconda in there. He said so. Something like that. Finds a hole, yeah. There it is. So I take this out a little bit and put it through the hole. Now that it's easy, put the little nut on again. Not tighten it, but just so it doesn't come out. It doesn't come out. That sounded a little bit like Arnold there. Yeah, we have to get out of here. All right. There it is. Get some, oh. Lesson 1, put the grease on the right side. I have no idea how these are to put on actually. Let's find out. And I start where the valve is, like so. Yeah. Oh. I think this will be an embarrassing part, just like getting it off the rim before. I have to make sure it's sort of, because it's a tube tire and smaller, narrower, it's pinching inwards there. So, and it doesn't want to sort of spread. So let's see. I want this to get really close, but it doesn't want to. Are we good? Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. Are we getting close? Okay, first pass is in. Whew. Ah, a beer and a chat. When you start pumping the tire, then play Pump It Up. That's a good idea. I've been playing songs to my tire videos, like Let the Beat Go On. So when you get the beat on, is that how it goes? Something, yeah, you know what I mean. That disco song. And the beat goes on, yeah. So let's see if we can get the beat on. Baker man is baking bread. We're sort of the same breed of people in here, I think. Just get that snoozing also. All right. This is the moment where I always need to, when things are going too easy, something is wrong. So I have to think about what I'm doing. Doesn't matter with the direction, and the tube is in. And that's all there is to it. Can you come up with something? All right. Yeah. Write in big letters if you come up with something. Let's start here and get it on around and just walk with the knees. Actually, it's good with this tire that it wants to pinch into the middle, because that means the bead stays in the middle better. So that makes it easier to put on. Okay, we're getting close. Let's see. Just that one. And that one. Skål och trevlig helg, Jonas. Oj, oj, oj. Skål for that. Skål, everyone. Yeah, I'll save it so I don't have drunken a beer before 5, because it counts when you finish it. That means you can start drinking whenever you want, but you cannot finish it before it's sort of a good time to do it. Then you can say I had my first beer after 5, because I haven't had my first beer yet. You missed the start. I did a lot of stuff on my bike, and since I tried a new method to replace tires, and that's by taking all the forks and wheels and shocks out also, to make it easier to get the bead on. I'm kidding, of course. These are Michelin trackers, sort of my... I've tested a bike once with them on wet grass and some soil and mud, and they were just awesome. So I tried these. They are quite soft in the rubber, don't last long, but I'm not riding long over winter, so yeah, Michelin tracker, and for the front too. Okie doke. And yeah, the new bearings are just great, and so on. Okie doke. Let's now pump up the tire, pump it up. So I don't tighten this all the way in until I inflated it a bit. I will not do balancing today. I'll do that in the morning, because yeah, there has to be some balance to it in life. Let's see now. Get the valve core in there. There you are. And so I lost tire pressure once during the whole Turkey trip, and that was the front tire. It was 0.2 bar when I checked tire pressure, and turned out it was the valve core that I didn't fasten it enough. I cannot, of course, use too much force now, but it was too loose and came off and just zipped out there, so I'm a bit cautious about that. But rear tire is on. Looks like a motocross tire, but it will of course be much wider when we put some air to it. And since I spent the whole week in office in a chair, we're going to pump this by hand. Just have to find the pump. I told you I was always getting sweaty when I change tires, and if I'm not sweaty yet at this point, I sure will when this is done. Look at this, it's quite loosely on, but that'll change. So, or do you prefer Yeah, this is a good beat. Sing it out, sing it out. Sing it out. It's like that Office, the Office sketch when they had CPR training. We have 0 bar so far. I hear noises from in there. I have no electricity in this shed. The lights are 12 volts to a car battery. We are at 1 bar. That's worth celebrating. Cheers. .8. Almost 2. Oh. The RPMs here are getting a bit lower, I feel. See if I can see the little line on the sides. Whew. I can finish it off with a machine, I guess. But I have to take it somewhere. Actually, let's have a pulse meter here too, since I have it. Pulse. There, pulse. We're at 133. That's sort of a yellow zone. Let's get the pulse up even more. Two and a half. Let's go higher. And 143. I have to keep track on both pressure and pulse. 147. Let's get over 150. $149. Come on. 152, that'll do. I always run my tires in the rear at about 150 beats per minute. That's a good off-road pressure. Ooh. You see now, since they are not made for 150 rims optimally, it's a bit flatter here over. So optimally it should be a little more rounded, but it works very well anyway. Ooh. We're coming down. let's chat with you people a little bit. Oh, I just love this channel. Oh, I love hearing about it. It's my baby and our baby. Oh. Oh, so we actually inspire people to do things. The new Tenere. The new Tenere. What's new about it? And it's comforting because they made the perfect bike from the beginning. So the next generation that came out, it had new color. So that was an improvement. I mean, look at KTM 790. It came out and then they sort of tried to hide it and came out with a completely new model version and sort of said sorry. But now we have the biggest change on the T7 standard coming out in 23, and it has an iPhone attached to it up here. And yeah, so the new display, which allows you to get SMS texts and see who's calling on the screen. And you can have one extra mode of ABS. The only thing I'd like to change about the ABS is the ability to just shut it off and keep it off until I want to turn it on again, then it's on, regardless of restarting and stuff like that. I'm solving that with a switch, as a few people on YouTube has done. But yeah, so the new display, remind me what else is new, because everything else, the suspension, the engine, the exhaust, including the hanger, everything is the same, and the new color, of course. Yeah, so it's comforting in a way, because yeah, why change something when it's good? Any comments on that? Yeah, quick shift is new, but I could have gotten a quick shift for this one the first day I bought it, because there are quick shift stuff for the MT-07 with exact same engine and gearbox. Okay, the gear ratio may be different, but anyway, you could have, and people have fitted quick shifters on the T7 since the start. So, but now it's easier to just tick the box when you order the bike, I guess. Yeah, it's not a warm garage, but as you can see, I keep warm by other means. I think I'm done with the tires, at least when you were watching. I sort of proved that I can do it, and I don't have a body double when doing it. Yeah, I could use a power 12 volt thing. I actually bought one. I have it here in the back of the bike. I bought this, maybe you can remind me what the name is, but it's the small, supposed to be really good. Yeah, the little mini pump for, yeah, and I had to cut the cable off and use a C-Tech connector instead, because the T7 already has a C-Tech connector, so it's easy just to plug in, like so. Yeah, and other than that, I have ordered the brake fix. it's Corey at Camel ADV made a really good video about that, explaining all the whys and so on. And I have to admit that I was a bit. Oh, now I'm pumping the brake with no tire on, so I'm just squeezing them. But I have problems myself feeling exactly. I have to try each time I brake to sort of test my way to see how much it's going to brake. So I don't have a good feeling in the foot brake. And also when it goes down, the travel is long. It's, yeah, you have to change body position almost sometimes just to get a good hard brake. That's my experience. So, and when he presented this new brake fix, I got, yeah, I'd like to see how that works, because it will be much more sort of, yeah, not much travel, and more things will happen quicker, and I like that. Because the front brake, you know always exactly, you have such good feel, but on the rear brake, it's a different story, I think. Oh, 54 heartbeats per minute. That's really low. There must be something strange. Notice you removed your side pannier guards when not on long trips, or do you enjoy tinkering? Yeah, I usually, because they are the adventure spec luggage racks, they are quite quick to get off. 3 screws and you get one side off, and it's quite easy. And I used to have it on only when I went camping because of the bags, and I like it cleaner and lighter this way. But now I bought the Blizzards, the smaller Endurostand bags, and I sort of keep them on, because if they're empty or just little in it, they will be really compact. So I usually have the small Blizzards on the bike. So yeah, it comes off and on, and I think I like spending time in the shed. And then I find things to do, so like this. So sometimes I do too much just because I enjoy being here. Oh! You guys slow me down with the beers. Who is your instructor in driving skills? Like most people, I attended one course once on the BMW 1200 GSA that I had, but they say start with a small bike, and then you will learn how to attack the terrain and move, shift, and yeah, it's easier. And I started really light. I started with enduro mountain biking, sort of downhill mountain biking and terrain and stuff like that. And it's completely different, but that's where I learned how to shift body and time, bunny hop, and yeah, how to compress the suspension and do things. Everything is much slower on a big bike, but I think that's where I learned most and transferred it to the bikes. Oh, thank you. It's after 5. Way over. How long have we been going on? I can't see that. Never mind, doesn't matter. So I guess I'll continue in the morning with the other tire, and that, I mean, tires are not coming on for a while. I took the forks off, the shock, put them in a package and sent them off to suspension business. It was too far away. It's up in Orsa up in northern Sweden, so otherwise I'd like to come along and film it and see what they do. But yeah, they're revalving and new springs for the fork and oil and service made on it. So I will have no suspension for 1.5 weeks, and until then I can be finished with the tires. And I've done so many things now with the grips and with a bearing change and a lot of stuff. So yeah, can take it slow. Alright guys, I'm sort of finished here now, I guess. So it's nice to have you guys with me in the shed. It's actually sort of socializing in a way, even though I'm looking there and reading there, but it's nice to read your comments. Sunday, grip mod time on the channel, so there's a video on that. And after that, I don't know, but something always comes up. Alright, have a great weekend, and thanks for joining this little Friday shed. Alright, see you guys, bye bye. I'm turning it off now, if I find out how to. It turns out there's no turn off button here. I think it's on the phone. See ya.